There comes a moment in every life when everything feels heavy. The dreams you once chased seem distant. Your prayers feel unanswered, and your heart quietly whispers, when will it change? You've tried to hold on, to stay strong, to keep believing, but something inside you feels tired. You're not lost. You're not forgotten. You're standing on the edge of your turning point. It may not look like it now. You might still see confusion, uncertainty, or silence. But in the unseen, something is shifting. The pain, the patience, the waiting, it has been building toward this moment. You've been walking through the night for so long, and though it felt endless, dawn is closer than you think. The truth is, what feels like your breaking point is often your transformation point. The universe, Krishna, the divine presence that has been guiding you all along, never wastes pain. Every tear, every delay, every unanswered question, it all leads to awakening. Sometimes, before something great unfolds, everything familiar must fall apart. It's not punishment. It's preparation. What you prayed for required space. And so the universe began to remove what no longer served you. People drifted away. Plans changed. The old version of you began to fade. That's not the end. That's the clearing before the beginning. This is the part of your story where you are not being broken. You are being rebuilt. You've been shaped by fire, refined by struggle, and softened by time. You are no longer who you were, and though that feels uncertain, it is also sacred. Krishna teaches that growth never happens in comfort. He allows storms not to destroy us, but to reveal our strength. The silence you've endured was never empty. It was divine recalibration. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every delay, it wasn't rejection. It was redirection. This moment, right now, is the turning point you've been praying for. You may not see the full picture yet, but the shift has already begun. The energy around you is changing. The things that once drained you are losing power. The things that once frightened you are losing meaning. The things that are truly meant for you are finding their way back quietly, perfectly, on divine timing. This is when faith becomes more than a word. This is when you begin to trust without proof. You start to realize that your life isn't falling apart, it's falling into alignment. The waiting you've endured wasn't punishment. It was training. The silence you mistook for absence was sacred stillness. The confusion you felt wasn't chaos. It was the universe rearranging everything so that what's meant for you could find you. When things are shifting on a soul level, it often feels like loss. But you're not losing anything meant for you. You're simply shedding what you've outgrown. And that's the beauty of divine timing. It always looks like everything is falling apart. Right before everything falls into place, take a breath. This moment, this very breath is proof that your story isn't finished. You're still here. You're still growing. You're still loved beyond measure. You've asked for change. You've prayed for clarity. You've longed for peace. The universe heard you. Krishna heard you. And though you couldn't see it, every step you took was guided. Every tear you shed was seen. This is the season where what was delayed begins to move. What was broken begins to heal. And what was lost begins to return in a more divine form. When you prayed for strength, you were given challenges. When you prayed for wisdom, you were given confusion. When you prayed for love, you were taught to love yourself first. You didn't fail. You evolved. Every moment has been a sacred preparation for the blessings that are now unfolding. Don't rush the process. Don't doubt the stillness. The soil always looks quiet before it blooms. What's coming for you isn't small. It's not temporary. It's not random. It's divine. This is the moment where everything begins to make sense. The nights you spent in tears weren't wasted. The times you wanted to give up were your most important tests. The pain didn't break you. It prepared you to receive what you once thought impossible. Krishna never abandons his devotees. When the path seems darkest, that's when he walks closest. His silence is not absence. It's instruction. His delay is not denial. It's protection. You see, if he had answered your prayers when you asked, you would have settled for less. You would have accepted comfort instead of calling, distraction instead of destiny. So he waited patiently, lovingly, until you were ready. And you are ready now. You've learned how to trust when there's no evidence, how to hope when everything seems silent, how to walk by faith when nothing makes sense. This is not the end of your story. It's the start of your becoming. There's something powerful rising inside. You something that the old version of you could never hold. That's why things had to change. You're not being punished. You're being promoted. It's not a setback. It's a setup for something divine. You prayed for peace, and the universe began removing chaos. You prayed for direction, and the old doors began to close. You prayed for clarity, and things began to fall away. It looked like loss, but it was alignment. This is your turning point. The moment the energy shifts from waiting to receiving, from confusion to clarity, from pain to peace, you're stepping into a chapter that your past self couldn't imagine. You've outgrown the fear that once held you. You've released the things that no longer vibrate with your spirit. You're lighter now, freer, closer to who you were always meant to be. The universe has been whispering to you through signs, numbers, songs, encounters, and feelings. It's been saying, hold on, I'm not done with you yet. And it's true. You've been through storms, but you didn't drown. You've been through endings, but you didn't lose your light. You're still here, stronger, softer, wiser. The universe always honors persistence born from love and faith. That's why your season of change is beginning. You don't need to chase anything. What's meant for you is already moving toward you. You don't need to beg for love. The love that's aligned with your soul is already finding you. You don't need to force outcomes. Divine flow is carrying you where you're meant to be. This is not the time to fear. This is the time to trust. When you stop asking why and start saying thank you, the shift happens. Gratitude turns waiting into peace. Say it softly to yourself. I trust the timing of my life. I trust that everything I've gone through has meaning. You are being guided even when you cannot see the path. Krishna's hand has never left yours. The universe has never turned its back on you. The delays have been protection. The detours have been direction. And the silence has been divine love disguised as patience. This is your reminder. You haven't been forgotten. The season you've been praying for is arriving. Because the best things, the real things, always come on divine timing. What's ahead is not just change, but transformation. Not just healing, but renewal. Not just hope, but peace that stays. And when it begins, it will not feel like effort. It will feel like alignment. Everything that once hurt will make sense. Everything you lost will be replaced with something sacred. Every unanswered prayer will reveal itself as grace. So breathe deeply. Let go of the need to control. Rest in the knowing that the universe has already heard you. You've prayed for a turning point, and this is it. It doesn't look dramatic because divine change often begins quietly. You'll notice it in small things, your peace returning, your heart softening, your intuition growing stronger. That's how it begins. And then, suddenly, the doors open, the weight lifts, the path clears, and you'll say, now I understand. Because what's coming next isn't random, it's written. And you, beloved soul, are ready for it. This is your turning point. The one your prayers have been building toward, the one the universe has been preparing in silence. You are ready to step into the life that was always meant for you. You don't need to strive anymore. You just need to surrender. You've walked through the fire. Now it's time to shine.com. And when you look back, you'll see that the waiting, the pain, the confusion, it was all love in disguise. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared because nothing good is ever lost in the hands of the divine. In this moment, right here, right now, is proof that you were meant to arrive exactly where you are. This is the turning point you've been praying for.